This meeting is being recorded.
Grand rising, everybody. It is your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my intraday/day trade setups. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. So first and foremost, I want to go over the DXY. So DXY, as I had mentioned on Sunday, I was expecting price to come down to this buy box on the DXY, which it did come down to 89.946 off of my 71% fib, and it ended up pushing to the upside. So that is a good rejection for me that I like to see. So one thing that I would want to, before I would get into this type of trade, two things I want to see, because this can still continue to fall, whether I want to think that or not, because first thing that I see at a glimpse, especially since, hold on, let me change this real quick. There you go. So, because first thing that I see when I hop on and look at the DXY is from this bearish push. Okay, from this bearish push, look where price rejected off of. Price just rejected off of the 61.8 from this high to this low on the DXY. So that's kind of having me kind of uneasy about things. But what I would really want to see, especially since our price was climbing up choppy like this, rather than just like, not choppy, but it wasn't as clearly one-sided or clear to the upside as the other way, right? So when I'm looking at the daily time frame as well, how it closed yesterday, it's not really giving me that bearish, like, oh, I want to keep falling type of vibe. But it's not telling me that it's going to keep dropping either. So one thing that I really would want to see on the DXY this morning is if price does end up retracing back down, if prices end up retracing back down to like the likes of like 89.992 or 90, then I'll be like, okay, maybe price is going to go bullish, and maybe that'll be an opportunity to get into a buy trade, right? Maybe that would be this area would be a buy area. Where's my box at? There you go. Be a possible buy area down here for price to reject off of. This is where I'm looking at price to reject off of before going bullish. I would love to see that for me to get a possible entry. And again, it's all going to be, well, not again, but it's all going to be based off of the price action that I'm seeing on the 15-minute time frame, or even possibly the lower time frames like the 5 or 10-minute time frame, for me to get into. Well, it's going to probably be 15-minute time frame that I'll look at price action, but I want to see the likes of this happen. I do like, again, how price went rejected off of this buy box that I had mentioned on Sunday, but now this is like current, like 15-minute time frame. And again, guys, remember, price could literally just be rejecting from this high to this low, this 61.8 fib, that would continue pushing price to the downside. So just gotta be careful with the DXY. Like, it is still in a place where I think it could possibly drop, right? So let's go on over to arbitrage and see what arbitrage has for us. Let me put this down here. Okay, so with arbitrage, same thing, came to the buy box. Let me delete this real quick. Remove. Oops. That is not what I wanted. Actually, you know what? Let me keep this, right? So it's from this that I did. So even with that, it would have still been respected nicely. But overall, again, DXY came over here to this buy box area. Price pushed down, was rejected off of 89.945, can push back up. I like seeing that, so I'm gonna delete this since we already have it on the other channel. But so again, what I want to see on the DXY, it's already starting to look for buy opportunities. If it's gonna hold, if it was gonna hold over this RSI line on the 1 hour time frame, right? I still do like how it looks, but as long as it's holding above, like, again, I want to see price come down to like 90. Like, if this price comes back down to like right here, 90, and then pushes to the upside, that's what I would love. That's what I would personally love to see. So 1 hour time frame on arbitrage, it hasn't called for the buy yet, but it is starting to look for it. But again, I would need to see price come down to like 90 or 89 point something, 89.900, which will be slightly under this lower danger zone on the arbitrage indicator. So we're going to the 4 hour time frame. I can see here as well, called for a buy, but it's under the RSI line, so it's kind of tricky at this point. Daily time frame, very bearish on the DXY still, so this is telling me that, okay, there's really no indication of price really going bullish quite yet. But again, lower time frames, I really want to see price come down like 90 or 89.900 or something like that, and then push to the upside. That would make me get into the trade, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and set this alert up for a buy opportunity, for a long opportunity, and once per bar close, we'll see when this calls for a buy what that would look like. So if price comes down to 90, then cool, we'll see that first. If arbitrage goes a buy first, okay, I'll still be kind of looking for that 90. But I bet, okay, arbitrage called the buy, so you might want to look for an entry or something like that, you know? So that's for the DXY. I'm still, like I said, I still want to see the bulls come through. So let's see what's up. EURUSD, the exact opposite, right? So sell box that from this high to this low, sell box got rejected at the 61.8, so that's good. That's good confluence to see on EURUSD, right? Let me go ahead and get rid of this right here real quick. Yeah, this can be deleted as well. So, and again, this could be just a potential place, because remember, I had mentioned right around over here, and if I draw my fib out from this low to this high, price that came and rejected off of the 61.8 and even went lower to like around the 71%, closer to the 78.6, and then rejected to the upside. So now that's like me saying, okay, like this could, I said this on Sunday, this could potentially go bullish, right? But I'm still not looking for the bulls quite yet until, like I said, like until on the higher time frames, like the 4 hour, it makes higher highs. Until it makes a higher high on the 4 hour, I'm not really gonna say that this is bullish, because it still is in my sell area overall, in my swing sell area, you get me? So with that being said, it's going back on over to the 15-minute time frame. And the same thing with this, from this bullish push up to price retracing right here, you could possibly see that it's hit the 61.8 right here and can continue going to the upside. So that's why I'm saying, so you want to be really careful with how this is playing out, especially the way how it was dropping choppy. And let me pull up the volume so I can see what the volume is looking like. Yeah, volume isn't that crazy either. It really shouldn't have been, because of like the time of day, right? It's the euro, but this is more DXY related than the euro, although there are times that the DXY can move when it's not the US session, but you know. So what I would want to see is the exact opposite of what the DXY is doing, right? So instead of me looking for it to hit my buy box, I want this to hit my sell box. And with this sell, I would want price to push to the upside. I'll be looking for entries at 1.21911, and then a continuation to the downside. Now again, I am still in this EURUSD.Sell from last week, for those who remember. So if I get this, there will be a second entry for me, and then I'll just again keep taking it to the downside. But I want to see this retracement happen for me to get in it personally, right? If this doesn't happen, I'm not gonna get in. So going over to arbitrage. 1 hour time frame, same thing as with the DXY. It is looking like it might reject off of this upper danger zone and continue to the downside. I would rather want that push to the upside with to give me those fibs that I want, but I'm gonna go ahead and set this alert for a short. Once per bar close, create, and so once it gives me that short alert, then hey, maybe I'll bet, okay, well, it's done a break and retest of the RSI line, although it's over it, and it's holding but under the upper danger zone. That's a sign to me that price will continue to drop. If as long as it's holding right here. If price, like let's just say price came up to like 1.21877, although that's like the area that I would want it to go to, based off of arbitrage only, that would be a very risky trade. But it's based off of if you're only using arbitrage. So again, I have this alert set for a sell, 4-hour time frame. It's called for the sell. It never exited. It never got out of the sell call that it made. So that's something to look out for as well. But the daily time frame is very bullish, and it hasn't crossed over this RSI line yet. So hey, maybe it happened this week, maybe not. But you just want to be wary of that. So I know the 1-hour time frame is going for a sell. So yeah, like I mentioned, I want to see price climb up a little higher for technical analysis wise, but arbitrage wise, if price holds right here, it's probably going to keep falling, no cap. So let's see what we have for AUDUSD. Yeah, AUDUSD isn't one of my favorite pairs to look at right now, because if I go on over to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price has just been holding at this range, and from what it looks like to me at least, there was just liquidity right here that price finally managed to grab, did a stop hunt, and then pushed to the upside. So me seeing that, I'm not trying to trade AUDUSD. It was cool last week, but I would, at this point, now I really would have to see price actually break through this and hold under for me to get into a sell. Other than that, I'm leaving AUDUSD alone. Yes, I do see that it is holding at this zone right here. I do see that, I do very much see that, but again, this is not something that I'm looking at because it's only a zone on a smaller time frame. Like, it's a minor zone, you know? It's not a major zone, like whereas right here, I could consider this a major zone. This is more of a minor zone up here. So I'm not gonna try to trade off of this. I'm just gonna leave AUDUSD alone, like literally. If you would like to trade this, I mean, I wouldn't personally. It just looks terrible. It looks like it's gonna keep going bullish. So I'm not even gonna say if you would like to trade this. Like, there's just no trade for me here. There is no trade for me here on the regular technical analysis. I still want this to go bearish, but at this point, I really need price to like do this, like break under and hold under, then retest and then continue. So until that happens, I'm staying away from AUDUSD. Let me see what we have on arbitrage. So arbitrage 1-hour time frame, we do have that sell there. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up an exit alert. And again, if you guys want to sell, by all means, arbitrage is calling for a sell. I'm pretty sure on the daily time frame it's calling for a sell as well. So short exit all was for bar close. Create. So if you want, you can take this sell, arbitrage users. Possible setup would be for you to take like this above those highs. I don't personally like that because all I see is a possible stop hunt to the upside. But again, if you want to take this sell, I have my exit alert on. So if you would like to take this out, the risk to reward is a 1 to 2.23. You'll be risking about 30 pips to gain 67. You might as well make it 70. So there is for AUDUSD. Again, 4-hour time frame. I like how it rejected off of this upper danger zone. So that's a good sign for it to keep falling, but still, I'm not really caring for how the 4-hour looks overall. It looks terrible. And the daily time frame, it's still holding under the RSI line, and it is still calling for a sell. So, hey, it's kind of risky to me again. I don't like it. So, hey, risk 30 pips and use risk management, and this could be a good trade setup. For me personally, it's a little risky, but it's an RB setup, so it's not that terrible either. I'm probably gonna actually take this just because it is an arbitrage setup. And depending on what the alert tells me, I will get out early or stay in the trade. So, USDCHF. Let's take a look at USDCHF, huh? So, USDCHF, from this buy, from this low that I had mentioned, price is violating a little lower past the buy box, but that's okay because I'd mentioned that it could be either from here that price is going to use this fib, or price is going to use the fibs down in this area, which it so happens to be looking like that, you know, and it is right in the area where if I were to buy it, I'd be looking to buy on USDCHF. And so, especially with how the dollar is and me wanting the dollar to go bullish, I'm gonna have to wait. No, I'm good with that. Sorry. I would really want to see price looking to turn around in this area, right? And if prices end up turning around in this area, then I'm probably not gonna end up buying it. Now, just notice that it is still in my overall buy area at 0.89689. This is like if I were to be swinging. I'm not swinging this quite yet. I will probably be shortly though, just depending on what the DXY does. But this is, again, this is an area where I'd be looking to buy. And, you know, I'm seeing volume right here was huge, but then volume down here wasn't that crazy. Going over to the 15-minute time frame. If I can get something like this on the 15-minute time frame, I would say, okay, go ahead and take the buy. So if price can push back up and come to these highs, pull back, retest, to continue, that would be something that I would definitely look at for getting into a buy on USDCHF. But based off of current current price action on the lower time frames and even on the 1 hour, it's kind of like, yeah, you want to wait. But remember, there is this big bearish candle with very little volume, and so the possibility of price going bullish, again, it exists. So this buy box is something that I'm watching for, and if I do get set up kind of like this, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna look to buy USDCHF. It doesn't look that bad. I just don't like how all this looks with the double top and then price dropping like that. I really don't care for how it looks like that. But if I do see some price action, I'm not getting into this quite yet. I'm not getting in right here, right now. But if I get the price action where price goes at bullish and then retraces, I'll probably take the push to the upside and see how that goes. Move my stop loss down to these lows. Even if it comes back to these recent highs, that's cool. I usually shoot for the extensions. So this would be a risk to reward of a 1 to 3, risking 43 pips, 432. That doesn't sound terrible for me. And again, this is kind of risky at this point because of the DXY, how it looks. And I'll go to DXY one more time and look. If the DXY does not go bullish with this move right here, then USDCHF is not gonna play out. So overall, you can just watch the DXY, and then you would be able to be like, okay, maybe I want to get in this, maybe I don't want to get in. I can still see the DXY pushing farther below, which will give a 78.6 entry, which isn't terrible either. But you know, that's just me. I'm like, yo, this looks like a good setup. I'm gonna be watching it. So I'm gonna be putting you on a blue. Alright, let's go over the VIX. So the VIX is looking very bearish. I don't like this 1 hour candle I'm seeing on the VIX, how it rejected on the 50 EMA. So I'm gonna remain bearish on this. It's been bearish. I don't see any reason for me to say that, oh, this is gonna go bullish, especially when it's making like these at these bottoms right here. Price just looks like it's gonna end up breaking these and continue making higher highs on the VIX, right? So let me change this song. And I hate when songs be having these words in the middle. There we go. Alright, so again, oops. Oh, y'all. Okay, so 1 hour time frame, S&P. Still very much bullish. I'm still very much bullish on it, especially when I'm seeing this 1 hour candle like this. This is not gonna happen. where I was saying that, oh, price might end up doing a stop hunt and then pushing to the downside. I don't see that happening, especially with that last 1 hour candle. Nope. This just looks like price, especially with the volume that it came with too. Like, this was not average volume on the 1 hour, and it was an hour ago, like at 5 a.m. I'm definitely looking at price to go bullish. So, like, again, and this is the same thing that I said on my analysis. Like, yo, if you really want to get a buy stop, which I'm going to show you exactly why you wouldn't want to get a buy stop, 15-minute time frame. You see how price came back up a little higher past these and then went to the downside. Traders might have been looking to sell here and they got stopped out and then price pushed to the downside. And especially how I'm seeing this right here, this just makes me think that S&P is just going to continue pushing to higher, you know? So this is why you don't do buy stops, because something like this could very much have happened and you would have got stopped out probably. Still looks like it's a bull flag overall. Overall, it does look like a bull flag. So this is just for like, okay, if you want, you could just play out the breakout or the break retest. I would rather play out the breakout if anything, because this just looks like it's going to keep going to the upside. But that's only like, again, if price closes a little higher than this. So like, if I were to put a buy stop, if me personally, I were to put a buy stop, I would probably put it at 4237.2. Why is this dark like that? It should even be looking like that. Hold on. Dash. There we go. So if price comes to 4237.2, this is this is a place where I would take a buy stop at. Because if price does indeed get to that point, then it's just probably going to keep going to the upside. So that's why I'm saying, like, right there would be a place where I put a buy stop, but I'm not crazy over it, so I'm not going to do it. But if that's how you want to trade it, by all means. Let's go on over to the Dow Jones. And it's the same thing here, guys. With that wick pushing to the downside, I am not interested in any type of buys. Price made a double top back up here and then came crashing back down. But again, I'm good. I mean, all I could really spin, maybe what possibly happened here is price came to the 71%, wicked off of it, pushed to the upside, right? Not really my cup of tea. I don't like how these US indices are right now, and I'm definitely not bearish on them. Especially, like, look at 4-hour time frame, price projecting off of the 50 EMA. I think that this is going to go and make higher highs very shortly. Like, and when I say very shortly, I mean like probably in the next day, 2, maybe even next week. But I'm not digging the sells. And I'm pretty sure even on arbitrage is calling for a sell on the 1 hour. Yep, on that 4 hour, it's kind of iffy. I'm just really iffy on this, guys. It's better to I'd personally say wait for it and just like leave it alone. I do see the potential of price continue going to the upside, but it's too risky for me, you know? I'm not really looking to trade the US indices in this type of risky manner. And especially look at the NASDAQ, it's looking like it's coming to try to hit these extensions. So if the NASDAQ is this bullish, then the other US indices, I would expect them to be bullish as well and not bearish. So again, hands up, I'm not trading the US indices, no matter how good they might look to me, which they don't look good to me at all. Like even with this, I would want to say that, oh, it could potentially sell because from this high to when price crashed, it's still in that sell area. Like if I were to put it right here, it's still in the sell area. Absolutely, it is. But I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy enough to try to sell it right here. So I'm gonna just wait and see what the US indices bring me at a later time. You know, not really trying to risk what I'm not willing to lose. So I'm not willing to lose money on the indices right now. All right, tacos. So this had not played out, which I thought it wasn't going to. So tacos, basically, guys, if this zone breaks, it's a wrap for tacos, and it's just gonna keep falling. That's literally how I see it. to demand zone, come to the daily time frame. You can see how it's being used right here as a place that it's really using for a price not to keep going bearish, right? Daily time frame, the lowest prices came down to is in this area right here, but I'm not sure if price is going to come back down here, but I'm not saying that it's not going to. I just have to wait. Daily time frame on USDMXN looks like this is going to keep falling, therefore I'm not going to trade it until I see some type of good price action. Now I do like how I see price push down, push to the upside, retraced, although it's very early and this is going up against daily time frame telling you to sell. I like how price is holding at this zone and what it did right here, where pushed it upside, rejected right here. I gotta wait and see what this is going to do, because overall I would have to look at 20.03411 or 20.07842 anywhere in this sell box as a place where I would look for USDMXN to continue to sell no matter what, right? So sell box, this is where I would be looking for. But since I want to see these lower time frames start to turn around, especially at this demand zone, 30-minute time frame, I would love to see this have been what it is, where price gave down, took up the lows, pushed to the upside, retrace, continue to the upside. I would love that. If that's what this is going to be, then hey, perfect. If it's not, then be careful at this area. And if price goes under 19.7300, then I'm just like, okay, no, USDMXN is not the wave. And it's just like every other USD pair, right? They're all at areas that if they're not going to turn around here, then it's probably just going to keep going with the weak dollar. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Gold. I'm still in drawdown on gold. It'd be like that. Not necessarily too much drawdown. Currently just 65 pip drawdown. So with that being said, I still want to see price to make this move, push to the upside and continue selling. It is still in my sell box overall. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. It is still in my sell box overall. I like this little stop hunt that it did right here, if that's what it is. So what I would want to see, if it's gonna push to the upside again before falling, is price to come up to like 1898 or 1900 and then fall from there, right? I'm still in the sell and I'm still gonna hold it. I'm not really feeling like this is gonna turn around on me quite yet, but it can, right? It still has that possibility, but again, I don't think that it will. So come back down, short position. So I'm still risking this 232 pips. Again, you want to use good risk management. And I'm still like I said, I'm still looking to take this to the downside. See what happens on gold. Go on over to arbitrage. So the 1 hour time frame call for the buy. Price is holding up at this upper danger zone. That's a good sign, but it is not called for a sell yet. So I'm going to go ahead and give an alert for the sell. And for those, if you are in it, oh, of course, naturally, I got to give you that RB gold. Oh, hold on. I didn't see my other messages. Yeah, 3-way divergence on USDCHF. That would be fire. RB on USDCHF, RB on gold. Yep. So RB on gold, I'm going to go ahead and set this, set that alert for a sell. Possibly. I like the sell. I really do like the sell idea, guys. I do like the idea of gold dropping off, because remember, even on the higher time frames, I was still a little iffy on if gold was going to sell or not. And then once I started seeing rejections there, I'm like, okay, possibly, that's good. So 4-hour time frame, it still hasn't called for the buy on the 4-hour, but it's not looking that great on the 4-hour. Level Pro and Arbitrage Z are both calling for bullish. It still hasn't called for the buy yet, so you just want to be careful with that. But I still want price to drop. There's still an hour, 19 minutes left for that. So again, with gold, hasn't called for the sell yet. It's still bullish, but again, I'm in the sell. I'm gonna see what happens on gold. I mean, I would have wanted to put my stop loss probably at like 1917, but I'm good. I don't. If price gets up there at that point, then I'm probably gonna be like, okay, it's gonna keep going, right? So that's what gold. The 1-hour arbitrage looks the best. Let me look at the 15-minute arbitrage, because I'm pretty sure that's bullish right now. Oh, not. It's about to go bullish though. So again, you want to be careful with gold. It's not the best setup. The 30-minute doesn't look terrible though. If for a price to come back up to like 1897, 1898, and then push the downside, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible look. So that is with Mr. Goldilocks. I'm probably gonna skip the cryptos because I've been saying the same thing about them over and over again. And like right now, Bitcoin's down at 32,979. It came all the way down to 32,186, and you know, it's already broken past below these lows right here. I do see it potentially coming down to 31,000, and even likes of 28,000. Very much possible for price to come and do a quick stop hunt down here at likes of 28,000 or even 27,500, and then go bullish. Definitely a possibility. Or it could just hit my other targets at 21,000, 17,000 even, and then go bullish, right? So still waiting to see what Bitcoin's going to do. Weekly time frame is not the best looking. Alright, that price is starting to climb under that 50 EMA, so there's still 5 days left until the week closes for Bitcoin, so it's a little too early to say that it's closing under the 50 EMA. But based off of this price action, it looks like it's going to get there very short. It's going to get there shortly. It came back to these lows naturally. So if you got into these sells on any of these cryptos, you might want to look to take some partial profits of some type. But again, I kind of do see 27,000 being hit and then price going bullish, or these targets will be met. 21,000 or 1,000, 17,000, any of those. Those targets will be met if price continues to make lower lows. Which, like I said, it kind of looks like that's what it's going to do. So there's definitely not a setup for me here to give. Be my guest. Oops. Be my guest if you want to try to buy it. I wouldn't at all. This is not price action that's telling me this to buy or anything. I think you pressed long on the RB alert. Oh, yeah, I think, okay, good, thank you. Let me actually check. Yeah, you're right, so let me edit it. Let me go short. Thank you, Peyton. And then save. All right. Let me make sure there's nobody on here. Cool. Make sure. All right, and so again, Bitcoin with the drop, that's kind of what I'm looking for overall. Not really crazy over this sell. Over this buy for price to push up. Not crazy over it at all. If you want, again, go ahead, but it's not for me. Arbitrage, definitely very bearish on Bitcoin. 30-minute time frame setting up for a buy, but that's probably only for a retracement. I'm not here for it. 1 hour called for the sell on the 7th at 1 or at 2, after the candle closed. And a 4 hour has been bearish. I've just been like daily, absolutely bearish, not trying to trade it. So again, if you want to try to sell it, if you want to try to buy it, go ahead, not for me. And if you want to sell it, it's too low for me to sell. Buy low, sell high type of vibe. Like Ripple, same thing. These targets at 70 cents and 55 cents, they look like they're going to get hit. 64 cents is very much a reality. So you want to watch for that from the sell box. Price push to the downside, continue pushing lower. So again, guys, be careful with these Bitcoin, Ripple, Litecoin cryptos overall. Just be careful with them. I'm not going to look over arbitrage because, again, I'm not going to try to give anybody in trouble. Same thing with Litecoin, price push to the downside. Bitcoin and Ethereum, like Peyton said yesterday, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're the ones that have the most crypto dominance. They have the most dominance in the crypto space. So what you would really want to do is, if you're going to set up anything with your cryptos, you want to just look at them. You want to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and see what those two are doing. So Ethereum, same thing. Ethereum is the one that has been, it's been most bullish, or it's been the one that has been doing the best among the other cryptocurrencies based on losses. But price has broken through this trend line right here. If you wanted to add this right here, you can add that trend line, although I don't really care for it when you're doing it like this, because even with this, it just doesn't look right. It looks like from here, that's where it got broken from. But yeah, so again, once I just saw that price wasn't breaking past this, I'm like, okay, guys, maybe Ethereum wouldn't be the move. But hey, again, these prices that are coming, like that are down here. Hold on, not there. Going to the 4 hour real quick, or not 4 hour. Where's my? There you go. So if we could get price to come down to the likes of like 1,332 or 1,006, that's still fire. Those are still very fire prices. So I'm still looking forward, question mark. I'm not really looking forward for price to get there, but if they get there, I'm going big on Ethereum. No lie, because Ethereum is going to be the future. All right, so GBPUSD, very choppy market, very choppy. Like I mentioned, yes, I am glad to see that price retrace back up here and now it's pushed into the downside. I can only try to start saying that I'm really bearish on GU is if this little support, if it broke to the downside. That's what would make me want to say that, okay, GU is going to be pushing, because it's just choppy. It's just in a choppy market, and it's in extremely bullish territory. Like, it's in extremely bullish territory. I still believe that this is going to happen. Price is going to push to the upside, fake out, drop, retest, and continue. That's something that I am watching for. But other than that, again, I have to see. It's the same thing with AUDUSD, basically. Unless I see price push to the downside, retest, and continue, then I'm really not gonna have any type of feeling towards trying to sell this right now. You know, doesn't look like selling material to me. I'm going over to arbitrage, because I'm pretty sure that's giving a setup somewhere. So 4 hour has been calling for the sell, so it hasn't been necessarily wrong about that. It's just been choppy. Again, it's just choppy markets. I don't like how choppy the market is right now on GU. Same thing here is calling for a sell, but it's just very choppy. You see how the sells are calling at areas where I would, or the signals are calling at areas where I wouldn't get in. That's what I'm saying about it's just really choppy. So with that being said, GU, again, I need to wait for that breakout to the downside for me to get in, or for me to be like, okay, I'm looking for sells, or for price to do the stop plan, being all that stuff, you know? So that's what GU, not really feeling it at all. GA, kind of the same wavelength right here, guys. Like, it's consolidating down here. It's been consolidating down here all day. I'm not really crazy over the sell, quite honestly. Well, for price to push to the upside and then drop. This looks like it's just going to keep falling, or it might go bullish. But for me, again, if I were to sell this, I would have to look for a price to come up to 1.83991, which is kind of the exact opposite of GU, right? But that's what I would have to see in order for me to get into a sell. But I think that price is just going to break out and go lower. So that's just what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking. But again, these GBP pairs, I'm not really crazy over them. 1 hour time frame called for the buy. It's holding at this lower danger zone, but again, this just looks like it's gonna keep falling to me. So I'm just like with the GBPs, I'm kind of like very careful on them right now. I don't like how this looks. I wouldn't try to get into a buy right here. And if I was, then my stop loss would be at 1.82, like very low, you know. So it's basically an instant stop loss. So I wouldn't trade this. Like personally, I don't think it's gonna buy. I think it's probably gonna give off a sell right as soon as I get off the call. So who knows? GA though, leave it alone. I don't like it. Like I said, look at all this is pointing down. Prices, no, it's not for me. Let's go over to GJ. Okay, so GJ has broken through. Let me get rid of this small support that was down here. Now again, same thing with GU, GJ, and all the other GBP pairs. Extremely bullish. Don't really want to try to sell them off of this weekly. It's like crazy. It's crazy bullish. And from this buy, from this recent impulsive move to the upside, the way our price came back down, I wouldn't be surprised if this is an area where price is going to look to go bullish, right? From this bullish push, price retrace, choppy retracement. It just looks like it's going to keep going to the upside, rejecting off of the 71%. Did it come down here? It almost did. 61.8. If it rejects, I think it's going to keep going bullish. But again, it is too high for me to try to get into a buy. I'm not saying that it's not going to go bullish, but it is too high for me to get in. I would want to sell. I want to sell when price is high and buy when price is low. So price is low compared to what it was when it was high right here. This doesn't look terrible for a buy, but it's just it's too high for me to try to get into it. And arbitrage, same thing. 1 hour time frame, it called for the buy, but it looks like it might drop, so I'm not gonna get into that either. It's just things are not lining up for me, you know. Things don't line up, I'm not gonna force it and get in. So 1 hour time frame, called for the buy right here, but price is just falling right here. This could have been a retracement. Who knows? This could have been a retracement off of some, oh, well, these were the lows right here. Price pushed up, retraced back to 1.54667, and this can go bullish. And hey, if that's the way, if that's the move, then absolutely go for it. But I'm not liking how it's under the RSI line. That's not a good sign for me, even when I'm seeing this wick right here. It's not a good sign for me to try to get into a buy. 4 hour time frame, it did call for this sell, and it's been bearish since. But again, this is way too bullish on the higher time frames for me to start saying that GJ is gonna sell. This is all just retracement work for me. So again, if you would like, you can take the buy. It's not for me personally, but I am still bullish on GJ until, I think the only time that I won't be bullish on GJ, and this is like hella far from where he's at right now. Only time I would start to say that I'm not bullish on GJ is once I start to see this structure right here getting broken, and then price is like boom, then retrace. That's what I would want to see if I'm looking for sells, and I'm not bearish on it yet. So until that happens, I'm not really bearish on GJ. EURGBP, last but not least, price came down to this demand zone, rejected off of it with a wick right here. Oh man, this would have been a setup yesterday. Price rejected off of that wick right there, and just like with Peyton's setup, push to the upside, retest, continuation. Right now you'd be at break even. Dang, that would have been a good play yesterday, honestly. Wait, when was this? 9 o'clock yesterday? Yeah, dang. Anyways, as you can see, like I mentioned, retracement, continue to the upside. That was clean. That was clean on EG with that kind of stop hunt, question mark? I wouldn't say that's a stop hunt. It'll just say that price is just coming back down to the 61.8 area, and then it's going bullish again. So we'll see what happens on EG. If EG goes bullish, then that means that the likes of GU and GJ are going to go bearish, which I'm not against. That would be awesome. That's what I want to see, actually. But we have to just wait and see. Again, these GBP pairs, I'm not really interested in trying to trade them at this time. I do like how price came here though on this on this demand level and then pushed to the upside. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do like that for some possibilities of EG to start turning around on the higher time frames and go bullish, right? So EG without time frame, I would not have played this the way how this came down, but off of technical analysis, I would have. 4-hour time frame, it is starting to go for the bulls. It is starting to climb over the RSI line, so that's a good sign. So again, 4-hour time frame doesn't look the greatest to me, but it does look like the EG is going to keep going to the upside. And daily time frame still very much bearish. So that is it with EURGBP. With that being said, is there any other pairs that anybody wants me to look at? Is there any other pairs that anybody wants me to go over before I get off? AUDUSD. See what this looks like. Again, guys, this is not the cleanest looking pair, looking trade, but just based off of arbitrage, it looks good. USDCHF. Not the greatest. I think it's going bullish. All right, nothing else. All right, well, thank you guys for hopping onto my intraday's day trade setups. If I do see anything, I'll make sure to talk about them in the chats. But other than that, guys, hey, I'm just basically saying the same thing. So let's go ahead and get this money. I'm still in gold. I don't know why that's not green. So let's see what's up. So I will go ahead and post up the recording very shortly, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Later.